Potstickers. Are they Chinese or Japanese? Why are they crisp and crunchy on one side only? And why are they called potstickers? Watch and I'll tell you. Welcome to Lawyer in the Kitchen. Today we're going to make potstickers, and they are pork and cabbage dumplings that we are going to fry and steam, so they're going to be very good. We're using Gyoza wrappers, so these are technically Japanese, but they were actually from the Song Dynasty in China, and we're going to make a nice dipping sauce for this. What's you laughing at?
Those wrappers are...
Those wrappers are from the Song Dynasty. that makes sense. No, that's pretty funny, okay? We're gonna have a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. We're going to have 2 tablespoons of rice wine, 2 tablespoons of mirin, 2 tablespoons of water, 1 teaspoon of chili oil, and a 1/2 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil, and 1 scallion cut up in nice small pieces or minced. So we're lucky here in Tallahassee. We actually have a few Oriental markets, and the one I got most of these things from was Lynn's, and it's a really good place, friendly people, great place to go, and they'll help you out if you need some help. Anyhow, obviously I'm not doing an ad for them, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. Since I hate some of the other places I shop in Tallahassee, I thought I'd throw that in. Anyhow, so we're gonna make the sauce first, and then let it sit for a while, and then we're going to make the filling for the wrappers, and that will require a 1/2 head of Napa cabbage that we're going to cut up finely, and then we're going to put some salt on it, let it sit in a strainer and take all the moisture out of it. We're going to use about 24 Gyoza wrappers, about 12 from the Song Dynasty, the wrappers from the Song Dynasty, and we're going to use 12 ounces of ground pork, and then we're going to use all of these other ingredients essentially again with some more scallions cut up, about 1.5 teaspoons of ginger, 1 clove of garlic minced, and 2 egg whites, and I'll go into those ingredients in a little more detail when we start putting those together. So let's start with the sauce. All right, I already got my 1/4 cup of soy sauce in here. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. There's 1, here's 2, and then 2 tablespoons of mirin. This is sweet. You can use a sweet sherry if you don't have this. And I don't know what a sweet sherry is, honestly. I don't drink sherry, and I hardly ever cook with it. I usually cook with cognac, things like that. 2 tablespoons of water. 1 teaspoon of chili oil, and I love this stuff. I mean, I like shrimp just dipped in this. It's just tasty as the devil. And there's 1 of those. And then we're going to put about a 1/2 teaspoon of sesame oil. And that's a little more than that, but that's just fine. All right, and that's all the wet ingredients. And the only other thing we're going to add to this now is the scallions. So I'm going to cut up 1 full scallion. We're going to put that in there. We'll let it set aside, and then we're going to start on that Napa cabbage. All right, so we're ready to cut up the onion, the scallion, into nice small pieces. Now, why do they call them pot stickers? Spot tickers. Why do they call them spot tickers? Pot stickers. Well, I kind of hinted at it. It's when the imperial chef left them in the pot, cooking them.
And they stuck.
They actually stuck.
Did they really?
They did, and that's why they call them pot stickers. And that's, I mean, as I understand, now you know how a lot of this food lore stuff is, you know, who knows for sure. All right, so I'm just going to taste this, even though this is going to come together a little bit better after it sits for a nice 1/2 hour, which it will sit, because we're going to take at least 20 minutes to do the cabbage. All right, let's just have a taste of this. Oh man, that is good. That's very tasty. It's got all kinds of flavors going, and it's going to combine even more after it sits for about a 1/2 hour. Anyhow, it's ready. You could bake this a day ahead, seal it up, put it in the fridge, and keep it for a day. Not much more than that, though. All right, we'll leave it sitting out. We'll do the cabbage next. Potstickers or dumplings are said to have originated in the Song Dynasty, 960 to 1280 AD. The grandson of Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, defeated the Song Dynasty, which also was eventually replaced about 100 years later with the Ming Dynasty. Back to potstickers. Potstickers, some say, were created by accident when an imperial chef left them in the pan too long and burned them on one side. But he decided to go ahead and serve them, and they were a hit. Today, that's how we make them. Only on one side is it crisp and crunchy. Gyoza is the Japanese version of the original Chinese potsticker, which is what we are making today. All right, so this is going to take a little bit of time. We're going to take about a half a head of Napa cabbage. If you use regular cabbage, you could. It's just this is much thinner and it'll cook faster. What we want to do is dry it out. We want to get this off of here. And we're going to cut this in pretty small pieces. And we're going to chop it up. We're looking to do about half of this head here. And then we're going to put some salt on it and draw out the moisture. By the way, this recipe is almost 100, and I say almost, I don't know what the almost part is, stolen from America's Test Kitchen. I bought their cookbook. I watch them all the time. I bought their cookbook that's got from 2001 to 2024. This is in their book, so credit where due. And we're going to put a little bit of salt in here, and then we're going to mix that up a little bit. And we're going to let this sit about 20 minutes. And let's pull that big leaf out of there. We don't want that. And we're going to just let that sit and see if we get any moisture out of it. For the filling now, we're going to have the following ingredients. We're going to have 12 ounces of ground pork. Now, this is 16, so doing all this lawyer math here, I'm going to cut about a quarter of this off, and I'm not going to use that because we want to keep the proportions right. We've got that half a head of Napa lettuce, it's cabbage, that's been cut up. It should be draining a little bit. We're going to use 4 scallions, 1 good sized clove of garlic, 4 teaspoons of soy sauce, 2 egg whites, and then we're going to use about 24 of the gyoza wrappers. I'm going to cook with about a half a cup of water, and I'm going to use grapeseed oil. You can use peanut oil, you can use vegetable oil, probably not olive oil, but I like grapeseed oil because it's high heat and it's just a good oil. So that's what we're going to use. Oh, and then 1.5 teaspoons of ginger. We're going to put all that in one bowl, put it together. We're waiting on the cabbage, but I'm going to get the scallions done while we're waiting. So this has been sitting, I say this, the Napa cabbage has been sitting for about 20 minutes. And I'm going to take a rubber spatula here and just press down on it and see if we get any water out of it. We're going to put the Napa cabbage in, and that was full 20 minutes. Our 4 teaspoons of soy sauce, our 2 egg whites, 1.5 teaspoons of ginger, about a half a teaspoon of pepper. We're going to mince 1 medium clove of garlic. And I think that's going to be good right there. That's plenty. Our 4 scallions. And I'm just going to use my hands. The biggest thing is getting the pork broken up. All right, I think we're in business. It's time to get ready to cook. Wrappers ready to go. Gyoza wrappers. I've never made these before, by the way. So we'll see how this turns out. It looks good. A nice heaping tablespoon of filling. And then we're going to take some water. I'm just going to go all the way around. Not knowing if that's what you need to do. I don't know. But we're going to there's going to be a flat side and a hump side to this. And that looks like too much. This is going to work. That may be too much. All right, let's do this. All right, so you pinch the center first and then come around. And that's too much material. Okay, so we're not going to use that one. All right, we're going to try again. I'm going to use way less than that. That's still too much. All right, so let's see if we got these. This one's coming apart. These are awful little crispy. You see, they're brittle. I don't know what the deal is with these. Let's try this again. So we start in the center and come out. I think I may have it. I got a little seepage here. And we're gonna set them over here. And I think we don't want to have too much material is what we don't want. Not quite as much. And I'm going to put it on one side. As I'm going around here, I'm pinching it, squishing it back in towards the center. Let's see if that gives us what we want. So we are ready. We've got the first 23, 24 of them ready to go, and we're going to put them in our pan. And we're going to about medium-high heat. A couple tablespoons of grapeseed oil, peanut oil, vegetable oil. And let's go ahead and start that. All right. Flat side down. And when I say that, I mean this. If you look at these, this is the hump, okay? And this is how we did them on the cutting board. We put the material down and then folded this over. So the hump is up here, and this side is flat. So we want the flat side down. And we're going to cook these until they're golden brown, about 5 minutes. All right, what do we got in there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We got 11. We can probably put 12. We can put one more in there. And then we'll have about half of what we were going to make. And we're looking at about 5 minutes.
So what did we learn about the temperature of our pan?
That it takes less.
When you see the bottom of one.
Yeah, this pan gets hot fast.
Yeah, we overestimated the temperature of the pan.
All right. All right, so that weeds this down. Well, we're going to use up all the material. I'm going to turn that down even more. That's just, this pan gets too hot. That is not what I wanted. That looks good. Let me just see if I got one that's right. That one looks good. We got one. You're gonna have to make a bunch more of these, baby.
Yeah.
God bless. So we've cooked these about 5 minutes, and we're gonna check this. That's a nice golden brown. And at this point, we're going to put about a half a cup of water in here and cover this immediately and cook this for about 10 minutes, and we're going to turn the heat down. So we were about medium high, and I had to actually turn this down because it's a little too hot. With this particular stove, this burner, and this pot, this is a hex-clad, it transfers heat very quickly and more intensely, it seems like, than some of the other pans I have. So I burnt the first, what, 10? Anyhow, so we're gonna make some more. So we've cooked these for 10 minutes, a full 10 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and take the cover off. And most of the water, if you look at that, most of the water is out of there. So we're gonna cook it, turn the heat back up just a little bit, and finish these off about 2 to 3 minutes with no cover on, and let it completely dry out. We've cooked these for 2-3 minutes. All the water's gone. If you look at them now, they've crisped up again, and they are just about perfect. I'm happy. Even the ones we start off with, put these on paper towels. Look at that. But we're going to put them flat side down. We're going to let them rest just a little bit. Look at that, though. That's beautiful. Check that out. Nice and soft on top, crisp on the bottom. And we got it all put together. So finally, after burning some, that happens, we got them nice and crispy on the bottom and nice and soft and tender on the top. And we're going to see how they taste. All right, so I'm going to try this one. First of all, let's look at that. This looks right to me. What do you think, Sharon? That's soft and supple. And then the bottom, look at that. That looks nice and crispy. All right, let's try it in the sauce. Oh, the sauce is perfect. You got the crispy on the bottom, which makes them pot stickers, and it's tender on the top. Tasty. You can taste the garlic. You taste a little bit of the ginger. The pork is great. The onions are fine. This is fantastic. I'm gonna soak up some of that juice in here. Try some more. You gotta try these at home. They're not that hard to make at all, really. They take a little bit of time. Putting them together is what takes all the time. But just remember, it's just, you know, it's 5 minutes, medium high, not too high to burn them. Get a nice crisp on them. Then put the water in, half a cup of water, cook for about 10 minutes, and then after it's all out, take off the top, crisp them up for about 2-3 minutes. Put your sauce in. The sauce is sitting all that time, and then just take a bite. Like, I'm gonna have one more of these things. They just taste great. If you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And if you hit your notifications, you'll know when we get a new video out, which pretty much is every Sunday around 10 o'clock. And if you do that, I appreciate it. And if you comment, I will respond. If you send a photo in of something you've made, I will likely put it on one of my videos. And I will see you next time on...
While you're in the kitchen.